Right? So he should be shaking in his boots right now, and he especially should be shaken because of the quality of the guy that he's up against, and that's Rob Astorino.
Hear, 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 hear.
Every time I hear Rob talk, I get inspired. I'm filled with more energy, and I leave the room more enthusiastic about what I'm up against because of listening to him. Because what Rob has done in his career, and when he ran down in Westchester, what he did down there is really exactly what I'm up against here in the 20th Congressional District. Yeah. And what he is doing on a larger statewide basis is exactly what I'm doing in the 20th Congressional District. He's got New York City to overcome. I've got the city of Albany to overcome. They've got a pretty major Democratic enrollment advantage down there. But here's the thing. And what we're telling everybody is, you know, we're finding out that even the Democrats aren't necessarily happy with Paul Tonko. Paul Tonko's in a tough spot right now. I've got an image in my head of Paul Tonko standing on an ice floe. He's got one foot over here, 1 foot over here, and it just cracked right down the middle. Everybody knows Paul Tonko wants to be all things to all people. He doesn't want to be on any one side of anything. But his own Democratic Party just split between his feet, because he was on the stage supporting Kathy Hochul and backing that mainstream candidate of Cuomo, supposedly. But meanwhile, his far left-wing people that he represents down in Washington of Nancy Pelosi, might as well call her Nancy Tonko. I like to call him Paulosi Tonko. Yeah. He tries to represent all sides, but his party just split right down between, and he's not sure where he is. So he's in trouble. And he's in trouble because we've got 58% of the people in this district who are not Democratic. And even those Democrats, there's a lot of Democrats who aren't happy with the SAFE Act. There's a lot of Democrats who aren't happy with Common Core. There's a lot of Democrats who aren't necessarily happy with Obamacare. And you know, those three things, those three issues that are bring out some of the most passion this year in this election cycle, were all passed really the same way. Obamacare, passed by the thinnest of margins, forced through. SAFE Act, forced through in the dead of night, thinnest of margins, total power play. And you know, Common Core was done the same way. They dangled out this race to the top money, and they said, you got to sign on to these standards if you want this money. Right. Well, what standards? Great standards, but you got to sign on if you want this money. Everybody signed on, took the money, we got Common Core. That's the way they operate. That's the way the Democrats operate, and people are fed up with it. And the people I'm talking with around the 20th Congressional District are hungry for change. They're fed up with the nonsense that's going on, not only in Albany and Washington. So I'm pleased to be running to represent all of you, all the people in the 20th Congressional District, and I'm pleased to be introducing to you here today the next governor of the state of New York, Rob Astorino. Yeah!
Good morning, Saratoga.
Hey!
It's great to be here. Boy, I tell you, the crowds are getting bigger and bigger wherever we go. And you know the nice thing is, you came because you wanted to. You came because you're involved in this campaign. You came because you care about this state. Andrew Cuomo's crowds come because they're threatened, they're bullied, and they're bought off. But you know what? We saw what happened Tuesday. When they actually vote, they said, I don't know about this guy anymore. He promised a lot 4 years ago, and he's done nothing to make our lives better. And when given a real choice on their side, you know what they chose? It wasn't a philosophy they chose. They chose honest, clean government. They chose to reject corruption.
Correct.
They chose to reject an economy that's not working in this state. They chose to reject 4 years of a missed opportunity. That's what they said at the polls on Tuesday. And you know what? They're going to say that again on November 4th. They're going to come out, the people of this state, waking up right now as the fall is starting to wake up and the chill is in the air. And they're going to say, you know, we've looked at what's happened over the last 4 years. It hasn't gotten better. In fact, to many people, it's gotten worse. And Andrew Cuomo had that chance, and he blew it. He blew it because he just spent his time with a very privileged few who have written out $40 million in checks to him. And we get the $40 checks. And I'm glad, because we've had already 6,000 donors to our campaign representing every county. And she won 31 counties. The people of this state are waking up. And in the final 50 days, the biggest statement ever is going to be made on November 4th. When people say, enough is enough, we want our state back. And they're going to get it back on November 4th. And thank God, when I go to work January 1st, I have Senator Farley to help me, because he's been an amazing senator. And if anyone deserves another 2 years in the Senate, it's Senator Farley. And Senator Marchione, who I know couldn't be here this morning, but she's been a great partner. She's been fantastic since day one. So no matter what district you're in, please make sure you support them. Jim Tedesco, he doesn't have an off button anywhere. And we need to make sure he goes back to the Assembly because he's needed. With a partner in Steve. You know, we got to build our numbers in the Assembly. And that's how we're going to get legislation passed or blocked when they try to do crazy things. So make sure Steve goes there, and Jim to Congress to fix this mess down in Washington, D.C. It's absolutely disgraceful. And whether it's our county clerk or local elected officials like Patrick and everybody, it's a great team we've got this year. We really and truly do. And the party is alive and well. The party is built by you. You are the party. The party's not a chair, and we've got a great one here in Chairman Herrick, and we got a great one in Chairman Long for the Conservatives. But the party is you, the people. You're the party, and we've got a party and parties that are ready to go. We're geared up. It was mentioned before that Andrew Cuomo just came out with another despicable ad this morning on corruption.
Amazing, amazing.
I mean, there are zero standards left. And the fact that he's got his $30 or $40 million, that's all you're going to see.
Right.
Negative, false advertising on me. Because with his record and the fact that he's the one under criminal investigation by federal prosecutors, I'm sure his criminal defense attorneys have told him you can't speak because you might perjure yourself. So what does he do?
Right.
As Freud says, it's projection.
Right.
He says everyone else in the world is corrupt, but the only one under a criminal investigation is Andrew Cuomo.
Right.
So here we go, okay? We're coming down the home stretch. There's going to be frost on the pumpkins. People are waking up that there's an election, and they spoke loudly in the Democratic Party on Tuesday that they too want a good economy and good jobs. They too care about education standards. We all want high standards, but Common Core is not the way to go.
Correct.
They too are gun owners and said, whoa, why are we criminals overnight? They too want good paying jobs and lower taxes. And they too want a clean capital, not a governor who is corrupt. That's why they voted Tuesday, 40% voted against their standard bearer. And that's just the beginning, because everyone else gets their chance on November 4th. And I've said to the Zephyr Teachout voters, join our cause. We may not agree on everything, but the one main thing she ran on was cleaning up Albany and cleaning up the stench coming out of the governor's office. And that's why we're asking her voters to join our crusade here. It's why we got elected, as Hannah said before, in Westchester. Democrats joined the cause, and we welcome them. We want them to be part of it. If you're reform-minded, if you want good government, join our crusade, join our reform effort. That's what we stand for. And we're welcoming to all people. We want to see everybody in our headquarters. We want to see everybody walking the streets for us, knocking on doors, making those calls. eating pizza till you're sick. That's what we do in campaign headquarters, right? So we're excited about this. We really and truly are. And, you know, it's going to be a really good November 4th. It's going to be a real crazy 50 days in between, because all the nonsense he's going to pull is just going to get worse and worse and worse. You're the advocates. You're the ones we're going to rely on to go door to door, neighbor to neighbor, and say it's not true. We can clean up this state. We can make it so much better to live here, because don't we all want to do that? Don't we want to give them a
Here,
choice?
here, here, here.
So thank you for coming today. Thank you for taking your lawn signs. Thank you for making calls. It will make a tremendous difference. And people who say you can't win New York City, you can't win this race.
Wrong.
I'm not running for mayor. I'm running for governor. And there's a very big state north of Manhattan.
Nice.
And upstate accounts for 50% of the vote. 50%. You get out to vote, we're going to win this race. Thank you for coming.
Here, here.
So I think with that, we should show the next governor his new office. But please stay, come down and sign up. Sign up to volunteer. Sign up with us. Sign up with the Upstate Conservative Coalition is here. By the way, our friends in Scope are in the back. We're going to need those guys here too. Come see the office, grab a donut, and let's get to work. Thank you.
Here.
And sign up.
The guy with the shirt right here, the plaid shirt.
Oh, okay. Well, no, there's a couple of problems.